The World of Champions brings you live action from the Nkoloma Stadium in Lusaka, and we're talking Rodgers Kola. The two teams' lineups now we share with you, shall we? Nkwazi drawing scoreless last week against Kampumbu 8, who is on the subs bench. Cardozo, Charles Zulu, 4-4-3 formation. They drew 1-0 against Green Eagles at the Sunset Stadium. Kelvin also has been relegated to the subs bench, and Abraham Siankombo, the FC Nkwazi shirt. So it is Nkwazi Football Club who will be getting us underway here. They're defending the goal on the left on your screen, and Zanaco Football Club on the right. So welcome you officially to the Nkoloma Stadium for this doubleheader. And first up, it is high-flying Nkwazi who are taking on Zanaco Football Club. And we're coming to you live from the Nkoloma Stadium in Charleston area in Lusaka, Zambia. I'm your match commentator, Matimba Nkonja. Alongside me is Mugando George Haji Gwamuna, who will be taking us through the match in terms of expert analysis this afternoon. So both sides recording draws in the last game, but it's Zanaco sitting second on the log standing.
Indeed it is, and Nkwazi not sitting in a very comfortable position, the 11th position that they currently occupy with regards to the log. A lot of work will be cut out for them, and those that would love to tell us about it, do get us on at Supersport TV and get interactive. And of course those videos of a maximum of 30 seconds to be sent to that particular number.
Of course, an attack coming through there for Zanaco Football Club. It's an early one. Difficult ball for... And it goes in and it's a goal! Boyd Musonda. Wow. It almost looked like it was going over the bar, but Boyd Musonda, under 2 minutes here, it is Zanaco who take the lead. And it's Boyd Musonda with the first for the season. And how about scoring up against a team that he last played for before joining Zanaco Football Club about 4 seasons ago. So good start for the Zanaco side, and what a great start for Zanaco.
It did look like a ball that had nothing in it, and Jeff Banda beaten to the header by Rodgers Kola, and Boyd Musonda there, good first control, and just slots it in the far post. Charles Muntanga caught out. Didn't really look like there was a lot in it, but it was very intentional from Boyd Musonda, well placed into the top corner, and Charles Muntanga caught off position. Brilliantly placed ball from Boyd Musonda, and the arc on it, that's just what catches out the Nkana goalkeeper. Very impressive finish from the Zanaco midfielder.
So the 23-year-old former Zambia under-20 international with probably one of the fastest goals for this new season. And Musonda with the goal for Zanaco. It is Nkwazi Football Club 0 and Zanaco Football Club 1. Musonda with a goal in the 2nd minute. Well, we do know that teams normally opening minutes, they have problems in terms of settling down, and that's exactly what has happened with this But again, it'll be interesting to see how they will react through. Henry Besa. It's a big blow for the Nkwazi side, just so with the probably the first touch in terms of the players having a touch on the ball, and especially for the goalkeeper, the first action is for him to pick the ball behind the back of the net. Charles Muntanga. Kick out now. Wide now to... Possession given away. The goal scorer picks it up. Mwewa. Boyd Musonda. Zanaco now with that goal looking very comfortable and taking the ball back. Zio Tembo there. Almost losing out possession. Kelvin Kampumbu strong in the midfield. They take it wide to the Cameroonian Musa Solumani. Long ball chest for the boys on with Moses Piri. Siankombo. Corner for Nkwazi Football Club. They take a short one to Musa Solumani, who's now been conveyed to the left back position. Yet another corner. So pressure continuing on the Nkwazi side. Corner taken, it's brought inside. Goalkeeper had gone out. And second time to bring it in with Siankombo. Using his stronger left, finds another natural left-footed player this afternoon. The Zanaco side being Musa Solumani. The goal scorer, Boyd Musonda. Auteza Mbewe. Chance to pull the trigger. Nothing given. That was a fair challenge that came through from Nkwazi with Andrew Mupande. Kept alive by Cardozo. Musa Solomani now for the Zanaco side. Difficult ball for Moses P. Being not given chance to make progression. He looks injured from this position, but Nkwazi will continue. Switched nicely to the left, finds Pride Mwansa. Let's see in this match if we were able to bring a cross. That's been the undoing, and we keep saying about Pride Mwansa, really. In terms of his crosses coming through, many a times not coming to fruition.
The quality in his delivery really begs much question, and he does convert chances, yes, on goal, but he's really gone down in the quality of delivery.
To John Mwewa, who is a Taonga Wembia lookalike from this position.
It's good to see John Mwewa playing in his traditional right-back position. Of course, he did deputize in the left-back position for quite a while.
Seems very comfortable there. The Nkwazi players not agreeing with that decision by the referee. It's been a long time also for Zanaco. They last beat Nkwazi Football Club in 2018. So the last 3 seasons, Zanaco really not getting a result. And that one was in June 23, 2018, when Martin P and Charles Zulu scored the 2 goals for them. Kevin Owusu then when he was with Nkwazi with the first saver. Long ball into the box. Muntanga calls for it and collects. And the long kick out looking for the run from Eric Chomba, but nicely stopped by Musa Solomanu. Siankombo. Cutting through 2 players. Difficult ball. This should be able to go for a corner. Oh, it's a throw-in, in fact. So good reaction there coming through to restrict what almost looked like a corner there. That's good work at the back for the Nkwazi side. But now the decision, finally after some debate, decides to have it as a corner. I thought it was a corner as well from the onset.
Yeah, it was a desperate effort, it looked, from Nelson Miller, but all in all still given away as a corner.
So Muntanga now on the spotlight. Corner taken by Sulumani. Zio Tembo, as usual, going forward. He's always interested in such positions. Second chance, Siankombo takes a shot. And there's a bit of a back heel that almost changed the direction of the ball from the captain, Roger Kola.
And interestingly, despite the Nkwazi defenders looking at the second assistant, in this case, Thomas Mukoko, there was no flag that was raised from that touch from Roger Kola. So had it been on target and had it gone in, could have been Zanaco's second goal in this game.
Mwewa. Difficult ball, and almost resulting in a very difficult situation, probably an on-goal in that regard. That back pass from the Nkwazi defense.
Yeah, Crawford Mwawa there. John Mwewa just floats that ball, hoping to catch Roger Kola, and he just lets it fly past him. But Crawford Mwawa almost beating his own goalkeeper with that diving back header. Very audacious effort from Crawford Mwawa.
Well, Nkwazi have been on the back foot for the last 8 minutes or so. There's certainly a lot of pressure that is coming through from Zanaco. Henry Besa, back pass to Charles Muntanga. Action is brought back to Besa as well. 2 weeks ago, Besa was man of the match recipient. And again, that's not a very convincing distribution of the ball in the Nkwazi defense. Kampumbu. Good play by Nkwazi now. They've got enough chance and space to go forward with Stephen Mutama. And poorly done by Mutama.
I think there was a short pass that Christopher Zulu had made himself available for, not picked out by Stephen Mutama. But I think that's about the most amount of touches that Nkwazi have had on the ball in that previous piece of possession.
Back pass to Mangani Banda. It's good to see that Banda lately starting ahead of Rachakola. There's a lot of rotation in terms of the goalkeeping department. Maybe as a result of the competition and how much one puts in during the weekly training sessions. Eric Chomba. Nkwazi now on the attack. This looks good wide now. Jeff Banda. Chance now for Nkwazi. And goalkeeper collects. One of the few movements so far that Nkwazi has moved forward into the Zanaco half. Boyd Musonda. Wide now to Ernest Mbewe. The overlap has been made by John Mwewa. Mbewe slowly discovering his form. There was a time when last season when Mbewe was frozen out of the Zanaco structures and really looks like he's really fighting his way back into the first 11 of this Zanaco side, who are sitting second on the log standings.
He had hit a really bad patch in form, Ernest Mbewe, but it's good that he's rediscovering it now, and especially towards the mid part of the first half of the season, it did look like he was getting into his stride.
Long ball forward from Nkwazi Football Club, chested nicely by Charles Christopher Zulu. Possession retained by Nkwazi, cleared out. Referee did well to allow play to go on when Nkwazi had the possession. 10 minutes played here. A goal in the second minute from Boyd Musonda is what is separating these two sides. Henry Besa. Nicely controlled by Christopher Zulu. Good turning. Seems today has come in the right form in terms of just winning those balls. Desperate clearance by Mwewa. Kept alive by Chomba. No one following up. Biuchansi Makiasi with a desperate clearance. And now Mwansa takes a shot. An opportunity for Chomba. He's got too many defenders right behind him, so very difficult position for him to take a shot on goal. And now, and wide it goes.
Sometimes that's the downside of very left-footed players, and Eric Chomba couldn't really dummy and turn to his right foot. He really was trying to fashion the chance to come to fall on his left foot and failing to create a chance and failing to capitalize on it himself. And of course he was coming up against Biuchansi Makiasi, a player who he spent quite a lot of time with as teammates at Nkwazi. So must know a thing or two about how to defend against Eric.
Moses Piri now. Wide Zanaco producing the two leading goal scorers in the Zambian Super Division, Roger Kola on 11 and P. Moses on 9. So really they're a side that are able to convert many chances probably that come through now. Roger Kola for Zanaco. Forcing the pass, chested, difficult ball, the ball bouncing off the chest of Piri. Now he can take a shot and desperately taken out for a corner by Charles Muntanga, leaving nothing to chance as that shot came through from the 31-year-old Zanaco's keeper, Roger Kola.
It did look like a tame effort in the end from Roger Kola, but just not giving up, fighting it, winning it off the feet of Nelson Mwela. And that shot on goal, it was going wide though, but Charles Muntanga taking no chances whatsoever.
Well, it was a team effort as well in terms of the shot that came through from Roger Kola. Musa Sulumani with the corner. Good to see him back in the Zanaco shirt. Went back to Cameroon. The former Coron Sport player. Speaking of which, Coron Sport are in the same group with Napsa Stars of Zambia. Earlier on, they did kick out Green Eagles. So it looks like Zambia being a familiar territory for the Cameroonian side in Coron Sport. Corner by Sulumani at the near post. And difficult ball. This one cleared out on the line desperately by the Nkwazi defense. Second ball now, heavy for Siankombo, throw in for Nkwazi Football Club.
It looks like Siankombo intercepts it when it's actually meant for Roger Kola in an attempt to recycle it from Boyd Musonda. But all in all, it's pressure from Zanaco, and looks like even the high press now, of course, initiated by Abraham Siankombo. Very, very high press from Zanaco.
Kampumbu now, Langson. Good switch to the left where finds Pride Mwansa. Kept alive inside the Quasi half with Nelson Mwela also involved. Nothing given there.
Looks like it's just going to be an ordinary corner, but I think Stephen Mutama, it's actually Langson Kampumbu who would have looked like Doesn't really look like he was hoping for a lot more, but it's good that Nkwazi actually get a corner from it. Gives them a chance to push up Crawford Mwaba and, well, it's just Crawford Mwaba that goes up. And of course, they do have Nelson Mwila, two very, very tall Nkwazi players.
So 14 minutes is what we've seen before. Nkwazi presented with the corner. Pride Mwansa with this one.
Hope his delivery is better from this particular corner.
Hopefully. Now. And again, we keep talking about this, but although it's brought inside, opportunity here and cleared out by the tall Rodgers Kola. But again, it was credit should go to Christopher Zulu, who managed to keep that overcooked corner that came through with a lot of power from the Nkwazi left back in Pride Mwansa. Oh, Madimba really has to improve in terms of his crosses. We're talking of Pride Mwansa. Sulumani claims it was a legal challenge. Oh, this is an interesting haircut. He's sporting, hairstyle rather, that Musa Sulumani is sporting.
Very versatile player, Musa Sulumani. And this time around being deployed in the left-back position. We do know he plays in advanced positions as well sometimes.
It's a long throw from Kampumbu, cleared out by Sulumani. An extension coming through from Siankombo. Given away. Pride Mwansa can receive this one. Difficult ball for Nkwazi, who are really not being given room to maneuver in play. There's almost one or two players just closing the gaps and not giving them chance to breathe and play. But maybe now, even as this foul is committed on Henry Besa.
He saw the space and decided to attack it. And good exploitive run from Henry Besa. Just saw no options for him from his forwards. No one was really coming through. And Abraham Siankombo tracking him down and just brought down by Boyd Musonda in the end. Towards the end there, just see Boyd Musonda trying to signal to Siankombo that the challenge should be made a lot earlier.
Yeah, so there's Jeff Banda in a bit of discussion there before the set piece is taken. Two-man human war put up Alteza and Boyd Musonda on the wall. So the responsibility from this position is falling on Nelson Mwila. To the box now, brought inside, this will be a chance, graces the crossbar, and again, what a missed chance by Nkwazi Football Club. That should have been 1-0. Really, that's been the undoing from Nkwazi. It's nothing new. We've always seen them. They're always giving us such presentations when it comes to them thinking and hoping that it has gone in. They really need to be incisive when in front of goal.
It was a good set piece though, and Henry Wesa just failing to beat the crossbar there. It's actually the post, yeah?
Now, this does not look too good. I think Kola really has to take a rush of blood. Remember, he recently got a red card. Okay, yes, the foul was made by Wesa, but that reaction from Kola is uncalled for, unsportsmanship there, so to speak.
Yeah, Roger Kola did pick up that red card in the game. They were playing host to Prison Leopards after scoring a brace in that particular game. Of course, referee Trison Mwape is trying to settle the match, and Henry Wesa also pleading his case. Earlier was the set piece, and brilliant dink there from Stephen Mutama, played through, and it was Pride Mwansa actually who plays it through for Henry Wesa. The ball just strikes the upright, but good set piece. Just failing to meet it at the far post was Henry Wesa. But from Nkwazi, at least a flash and a chance, a shot on goal in the end.
It's brought into the box now, headed. It was a free header by Kola. There's our second to react to that situation. And the captain, surely for Zanaco, I think it's about the technique, just leaning back when he was connecting that cross that came through from the set piece. That came as a result of him being fouled by Henry Wesa. So then, good start by this man who is yet to record a win over Nkwazi since moving from the Zambia police-sponsored outfit to Zanaco Football Club. Now on the other side, more pressure to do with Crawford Mwaba. That's safety first, just to take out the ball for a throw-in, being put under pressure by Rodgers Kola.
I think Charles Mutanga doesn't help his defender there because there's really no communication. Charles Mutanga can see what's coming from the back of Mwaba, but with no communication, Mwaba has no choice but to put it out for a throw-in. Actually gives Zanaco a lot of ground that they've covered now to have this throw-in opportunity.
Throw-in by Musa Sulumani, the 26-year-old Cameroonian. course, now playing, like we said, on the left back position, but such a versatile player that can operate in different positions. Utility, simply put. Ernest Mbeo brings back the action quickly into the Nkwazi goal. Chomba now, Eric. Now they can build from this attack wide with Andrew Mupande. Wants to get some support. Nkwazi have the numbers as well. Christopher Zulu. Good switch play finds Kelvin Kampumbu on the right. So two brothers up against each other this afternoon. Zulu, good ball. This is a chance now for Nkwazi. It's brought inside. Good save by Mangani Banda. Even as Chomba, no option. Because there were not too many players from Nkwazi in the box. And apart from that, also had to bring it to his weaker right. But not a bad effort. Good vision that came through in terms of that effort. Nkwazi do very well just to press this Zanaco side in their own half. An opportunity to take a shot, takes a deflection, cleared out by Musa Sulumani. Kampumbu. Nkwazi really pressing this Zanaco side despite conceding as early as the second minute. Abraham Siankombo.
Good strong challenge from Nelson Mwila. As it seems Belchance Makiese has gone down. Seemingly gesturing that he's picked up a knock of some sort. Seems to be clutching his midriff. Could be a spot of bother, that, Matimba, because chances that he's aggravated an old injury.
I'll tell you one thing. During the warm-up, Thomas Matenda, the physical trainer, spent a lot of time, it was off your screen, working around Buchansi. So I'm not shocked with that incident.
Yeah, there again, the right-footed shot from Eric Chomba. I mean, looked around, didn't see any options, a lot of power behind that shot, and it was bouncing. Good save in the end, and credit should go to the Zanaco goalkeeper.
In between number 3 and number 6.
So indications from what we're getting is that Buchansi Makiasi will not be able to continue with play. So an early substitution that Zanaco have to make. And like I said, during the warm-up, when I was just trying to see on how the two teams were doing their warm-up, Buchansi really needed some extra warm-up or an extra attention that came through from the Zanaco physical trainer, the Zimbabwean Thomas Matenda, who really had to pay a bit of attention to the drill that was being done. So an early change, and it's Buchansi Makiasi who exits, and in comes the Ghanaian Kelvin Owusu. He's readying himself to come up as the first change, and a first one for the afternoon. Throw is taken now back to Musa Sulumani. Zanaco playing against the wind here in this first stanza. Decision against Andrew Mupande. They went for that ball with Moses Piri. Mupande really looking shocked with that decision that has been made by the referee. So confirmation of the change. Kevin Owusu are more in for Buchansi Makiasi. Of course, Kevin Owusu also played for the Nkwazi side before going to Zanaco Football Club 2 seasons ago.
Interesting, yeah. A former Nkwazi player coming in for a former Nkwazi player in
up
Makiese.
Against a former club.
Yeah, oh yes, up against their former club. And
yeah,
of course, Makiese and Owusu did marshal that central defense at some point for Nkwazi, but now both of them are currently banking with Zanaco.
Well, Makinka just busy now pouring and seeing the proceedings. They've been stung really by that early goal that has somewhat probably has unsettled them. Throw by Kampumbu. He takes it back to start the formation with Crawford Mwaba. Switching play to the left is Henry Versa. Crawford Mwaba. Difficult ball for Stephen Mutama, who loses it now. Musonda. Zanaco on the attack. Moses Piri couldn't control it well. Zanaco would have benefited from that mistake. Chomba. That's a foul. Without a doubt. Kelvin Kampumbu just pulling back Eric Chomba.
It did look like a cynical foul from Kelvin Kampumbu there, and well, not to. I guess he goes out lucky that he didn't even get a talking to. And Zio Tembo very miscontrols that ball, tries to keep it in play, and well, Dennis Makinka just trying to roll back the years to his playing days for Zanaco. Ironically enough, he used to play right back for Zanaco. Yeah, he's lost the touch.
Well, even the wedding ring came off, yeah?
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah, Makinka.
Yeah, no, he's lost the touch.
He lost the touch and lost the ring and picked it up. Oh, yeah. When the pressure is on, he was trying to quickly stop the ball and take it back into action now. Throw by the Nkwazi side. Christopher Zulu. So actually, Jeff Banda, but now pressure on Pride Mwansa. Combined effort by Zanaco. Just taking it out for a throw in Kelvin Kampumbu. Oh. Good play by Nkwazi. Wide with Jeff Banda. He's got a cross. This is the undoing. Really.
And I think it shouldn't just be a cross. It should be a cross trying to pick out somebody. Quality should be in that delivery from Pride Mwanza.
We said this time and again about Pride Mwanza's weakness in terms of crosses. Let's see this time around. And again, it's either it's too much far post or probably just a bad work of it really for Pride Mwanza. Yes, he's the top scorer for this Nkwazi side, even offers his apologies. And that's where he ventures and finds himself in good positions, but the delivery very poor, I must say.
And I think for a player that's been recently called up to the national team, especially with the Chan national team, it should put pressure on him himself, to up his game with regards to his delivery, because now left backs are a big factor in the game as we have a possible clash of heads. Abraham Siankombo hit on the back of the head by Langson Kampumbu. Looks like the young lad actually shakes off that particular challenge, but spot of concern here for the Zanaco medics. Langson Kampumbu coming through the back, wins the ball but takes the man as well. Commits a foul in the end.
Well, credit should go to the Zanaco medical staff. You know, concussion issues, just when they were called, or probably just a few seconds before, they had already started readying themselves to come in. Yeah, but good enough that both players are able to continue with play. Musa Sulumani for Zanaco. Touched on by Boyd Musonda. Looking for Roger Kola. Nkwazi clear at the back with Nelson Muila. Okay, now the high balls really. Besides really not putting up a passing game in terms of keeping the ball on the ground. Possession almost lost there as Mbewe had put up pressure. Cardozo. Zio Tembo to decide for the Zanaco side. Still has a bit of some pace he can bring in. Kampumbu working hard, the Zambian international, but it's won by the Nkwazi side. And I think apart from just conceding that early goal, they've not really disappointed this Nkwazi side in this afternoon's match.
Yeah, you could credit that goal to them having not settled, considering it was still in the first minute of the game. But still, I think after that, they seem to have come of their own and are playing a lot better. Unnecessary challenge there from Zio Tembo. Will be very lucky if he doesn't get cautioned, because he comes through the back of the player in Christopher Zulu. Of course, I guess that's his last warning that he'll be receiving from Trison Mwape.
Wow. Former Zambian international Zio Tembo just getting a word there from the match official. Slowly getting to 30 minutes of this match, with the home side trailing by 1-0 here. Mupande, Andrew. Again, very disappointing for the Nkwazi side. Andrew Mupande there, you'd have thought would have done and come up with something better. The defensive midfielder for this Nkwazi side.
Of course, a warning coming to Mangani Banda there for time wasting. Him and Kevin also just been cautioned. And yes, in as much as Zanaco do have the lead already, but 30 minutes into the game, that's a little too early to be trying to waste time for the Zanaco goalkeeper.
But again, you might understand, Marco, that it's because maybe the last 5 minutes or so, it's Nkwazi that have been bombarding the Zanaco half and maybe just trying to cool off the pressure.
Of course, I think he is trying to, yeah, because like you have said, Nkwazi have been coming at the goal mouth of Zanaco time and time again in these last couple of minutes.
The physicality of this match beginning to go up. Kelvin Owusu for Zanaco. Kampumbu. Wide now to Siankombo. Good ball now. Moses Spirit to do the chest. He's been pursued in the meantime by Nelson Muila. Kept alive. Should be cleared out by Henry Vesa. Controlled nicely by Christopher Cardozo Zulu. Really fighting very hard this afternoon. Nkwazi also taking their time in terms of starting the action quickly, because they look like the side that is actually leading when they could quickly just start the attack and maybe catch Zanaco on the break. Good ball for Chomba, offside.
First assistant Thomas Kaela just flags Eric Chomba for offside there. Of course, the Nkwazi forward tried to hold his run, and he kept signaling to his teammates to play the ball in a lot quicker than they eventually did.
We've had a lot of goals in the previous meetings between these two sides. When they come up, of course, the earlier meeting which we talked about being a scoreless draw, but this is not the case right now. 1-1 draw rather. Kampumbu, Langson, to his, he gives away possession to his brother in Kelvin. Warriors were the team that Nkwazi last played, and the next fixture is up against Green Buffaloes Football Club on Saturday. That game will be live on the World of Champions Super Sport. Green Buffaloes versus Nkwazi. So then, Mr. Takatiko just watching on and seeing, yes, they're leading, but I think they really been put under a lot of pressure in the last few minutes. Clearance is made by Musa Solomon. So it's a corner now for the Nkwazi side. Maybe during their practice session, they should have more variety apart from just relying on Pride Mwansa, who's been wasting most of the chances that this Nkwazi side has been having so far from the set pieces. Pressure on Manganibanda. Corner is taken at the far post, and really that was a good challenge that came through, but Banda was equal to the task, even as he was being put under pressure there from that corner that had come through.
And it's Nelson Muila who was arriving at the far post this time around. Good weight on that corner from Pride Mwansa, and Nelson Muila just looking to connect with it at the far post, but Manganibanda gets his hand to it just in the nick of time. It was a genuine challenge from Nelson Muila. Could have gotten his head to it, but good save in the end from the Zanaco goalkeeper. And for his troubles, Manganibanda seems to have picked up a knock as his hamstring, and in particular, it looks like the quadricep muscle could have picked up a knock there.
Yeah, I think he landed rather awkwardly, and this will be a big blow again. It means Zanaco would have made a second change. If he does not continue with play, there's Kola, who may be introduced, but the team medics, Matthews Kabundian team, just working on the Zanaco goal custodian. But for this man, looking on pensively and probably thinking about how they might get a second goal or probably a win. Remember, the last game was a draw. They had to come from behind against Green Eagles. But the good news is that obviously in this case we can see Manganibanda is upstanding, so you'll be able to continue with play in this match.
Would like to see whether he'll be able to kick the ball long with his right leg, because that's the thigh that he says he received the knock off.
Oh, he does, and he does very well.
Seems it's been mended then.
They must have done a good job, the team medics for Zanaco Football Club. Pride Mwansa. Christopher Zulu picked up now Banda to chase, pulling the pressure on Zio Tembo. Back pass to goalkeeper Manganibanda, who takes it out to be a throw for the Nkwazi side. Nothing much really to talk about, especially in the case of Muntanga. Apart from him picking the ball once behind the back of the net, Zanaco have had their chances restricted in terms of them coming forward. Yet another throw with Mwansa. Quick start, they do. Mwewa. Mwansa now, second time he's got the ball up against John Mwewa. Zanaco defender wins it, and a foul decision against Pride who does not seem to agree with what the referee has made of that situation. 11 minutes to the halftime break here at the Nkwazi Stadium.
They are similar in stature, Ernest Mbewe and John Mwewa, and I would understand. And actually, it's Ernest Mbewe doing a good job on his defensive duties there. Very, very similar in stature.
Now, Kola. And this one will produce the first yellow card, and it's Henry Versa. This will be an interesting afternoon for these two. I think, I wonder what they've been saying in terms of exchange of words. He claims that again there was an elbow, and Henry Versa into the referee's book, so we can confirm it. He becomes the first player to be booked this afternoon.
And it's Roger Kola who seems to have gotten the better of him, and it does look like he tagged Henry Versa back slightly, but Henry Versa, he clearly does trip Roger Kola, and deservedly so, gets a yellow card for him. But gonna be a feisty encounter because Henry Versa is man marking Roger Kola, so any mistake could lead to a possible second for him.
Another chance for the Zanaco side. It's a decent area for them to get something. Musa Solomon just wanted to place the ball in the right place. There's also Siankombo. Remember, these are the two natural left-footed players in this Zanaco side, and from any position around there, a left-footed player is best suited to take it. Now Muntanga to organize his two-man human war, the Zambia under-23 goalkeeper. Sulumani brings in one and straight to goalkeeper Charles Muntanga. He was on the right spot. Quickly he gets Nkwazi into the attack with Zulu. Defended well by Kelvin Kampumbu. Heavy touch from Siankombo. Picked up nicely by Christopher Zulu, and a good switch also to the right. Finds Jeff Banda. He waits to take the trigger straight to goalkeeper Mangani Banda. So that's what they need to do. As long as they keep trying and pushing like that, they might probably unhinge the door that has been put up by this Zanaco side.
Very, very good counter-attacking football from Nkwazi, and they looked like they were on a purpose here, but just lacking the clinical touch. Foul this time. Roger Kola, being the offending party, is the guilty party with a foul on Henry Versa. So yeah, a lot will be seen from these two as they take each other on.
Nkwazi at the back with Nelson Mwila. But again, that's been the story about Nkwazi. Just a few weeks ago, I was doing commentary on one of the games. I remember against when they played against Lumwana. And a few weeks later, I think at this same venue, they played against Napsa Stars. Played all their football, but they really can't bite. Even though they've got the teeth to do so in terms of just buying those chances that they create. Kelvin Langson Kampumbu looking for Chomba, headed back into action straight on to Musonda. Roger Kola delayed a bit late in terms of reasoning the ball, thereby Nkwazi given time to come back quickly and defend. Jeff Banda is looking to place the ball in between Mwewa and Zio Tembo, but Tembo just rolling back the years in terms of the way he used to defend for the Chipolopolo then. Sulumanu allowed this one to go out for a throw in, although there was some pressure that was coming through from Kampumbu. Langson. Christopher Zulu to Jeff Banda. Good ball. Chomba now. Opportunity, and he blazes it over the bar. Same story, and this is what we talk about. Although there was hesitation that came through from goalkeeper Mangani Banda had come out, and again, earlier on, Marco, talking about the... You're talking about earlier on how it's always difficult for certain players, especially in the case of Chomba, to bring the ball to the right.
And it was a good touch from Jeff Banda into the path of Eric Chomba, but just failing to get that shot on target. And it comes to his right foot. Yes, he is very left-footed. He puts in his best effort to try and get that on target, but he blazes it over the crossbar and harmlessly over the goal mouth of Mangani Banda.
Decision against Langson Kampumbu, against Abraham Siankombo, the 22-year-old Zanaco player. Of course, attended trials at Nkwazi in 2008, was unsuccessful, but now given a lifeline under coach Chris Kaunda at Zanaco Football Club. Good ball for Moses P now. Cleared out by Henry Besa. That was good defensive work by the Nkwazi defender. Stuck in there is Kelvin Kampumbu. He did come up against the challenge of another player who can be so physical in Jeff Banda. Attack with Pride Mwansa. Very casual approach there from Pride in terms of releasing that ball.
Good interception from Zio Tembo in the end.
Throw taken, looking for Chomba, who's drifting very quickly from the left to the right. Moya should be able to clear up things here, put himself under necessary pressure in deciding to clear that ball. From Nkwazi, although it looks like there was a strong push that came through from Kevin Owusu, who's not happy with the delay by Mwewa to clear that ball.
Very physical challenge by Owusu, and the indecision from Mangani Banda and John Mwewa, not impressing the central defender there.
Now, this is the story. Mwewa versus Roger Kola. So far, anything that is happening sees Roger Kola winning the challenges that have come through. Player was played for major leagues. He also played in Belgium for Genk. Looking for Kola. Up against Besa. Does a good job, is Besa. Despite being put under a lot of pressure. Ref does well to allow play to go on, but now he'll stop play. And this
rightfully, yeah,
should be a yellow card for me.
Kelvin Kampumbu, this is the third such challenge that he has committed, and rightfully, Matimba, if the referee is counting as we are, that should be a yellow card for him.
Oh, but he lets it go. It looks like he's not in any way showing any sign that yellow card. Yes, he is. Yeah, you're right. You need to call it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good thought there. Yes. Good refereeing there. Kelvin Kampumbu into the referee's book.
And I think
second player to be booked.
Very good from the referee, because he waits to assess the player's health first, and it's a rash challenge by Kelvin Kampumbu and Stephen Mutama. Rightfully so. The combative Zanaco midfielder gets a yellow card for that challenge.
Well, nobody does that. I remember in a game, I think it was for the Zanaco side in the continental action, where he got a red card. Poor delivery yet again from Pride Mwansa. I'm sorry. Truth be told, he really has to work on that. Corner, it is a player down for Zanaco though.
That looks like Zio Tembo, so that could be the other original central midfielder. He too is clutching the groin area. Could be another injury concern here. Zanaco could possibly finish this half with a whole new pairing of central defenders, should it result in Zio Tembo having to leave the field of play. Well, considering already Belchance Makiese has had to leave. And it was a bad cross from Pride Mwansa initially, and Zio Tembo stretched very, very hard to get to that, and in that, does put himself in some trouble. It looked very painful there, Matimba.
So then, sometimes it's about the exercises probably they undergo. You can see Matthews Kavundi just signaling to the bench, just wait. We assess the extent of this injury on whether a decision will be made on he'll be able to continue with play or not. They will try as much as possible to mend him. They wouldn't want to lose a defender in this fashion, as was the case, like you said, when Belchance Makiese had to exit, forced substitution because of the injury.
The groin is quite a bad injury, because you really can't exert pressure, you can't sprint, you can't jump. It's a very uncomfortable position to have an injury.
Corner now for the Nkwazi side. 2 minutes to the halftime break here we have. And again, they will make appeals for a handball, which falls on the deaf ears of the referee. Zanaco can come now. Poorly done by Boyd Musonda. Henry Besa does well to keep possession. Finds Pride Mwansa, who has now moved to the right. He has to bring it to the left. Hesitation, and what looked like a very promising attack almost lost out there. So it's a set piece for the Nkwazi side. I really liked the way this Nkwazi side have settled, despite maybe they needed that goal to settle down early, or they needed that action in form of that goal coming through just to make them uncomfortable and start playing some football here. So, first time out, when he was called to duty, he has really come out well in Mangani Banda. But there's another opportunity here, and mind you, Pride Mwansa has scored some of those 3 goals from such situations where he's currently the top scorer from Nkwazi on 3 goals. War being asked to move to the right spot, Sulumani and Moses P. But Mangani Banda, part of the AFCON 2017 Zambia under-20 team, so far stood out strong. Cross is brought inside and taken out. That was a decisive one from Owusu. You see how much it meant. Makinka probably thought that was going in already. The reaction on the face is one that he had thought the equalizer had come. But good defensive work by the Ghanaian Kelvin Owusu.
Good dangerous free kick as well, put into a very dangerous position.
Corner taken is they take a short one, change in terms of technique in taking it. Appeals for a handball not given. Chomba really played to the whistle.
Even if it had struck the Zanaco player in the hand, had it not been, if it's not deliberate, that was too close for the player to react.
Now Charles Christopher, rather Zulu, picked up now by Moses P. 3 minutes of additional time we're playing here, already to the first of the 3. The Zanaco, the Nkwazi players really combining 3 of them as if they're chasing an armed robber. Clear out by Mwansa, who delays. I don't know if you've seen this, just off your screen, Marco. Mr. Zio Tembo, the way he's walking and running, he's walking rather gingerly. Like you said, issues to do with growing. I know you've played some football, always a problem.
Yeah, it's a very, very tricky muscle to play through. And won't be surprised that Zio Tembo is just playing to reach the halfway point where Zanaco can re-strategize during that halfway break.
Yeah, he's walking,
It'll be good to see him come out in the second half. But as from the grimaces on his face, chances are very slim that he'll come out into the second half.
Corner now with Pride Mwansa. The near post again. Nkwazi, they have to make it count when it comes to these chances they create. Chomba keeps it alive, brought inside, and a tip-top save from Mangani Banda. It was suddenly going into the net. He makes himself big and just takes it up and over the wall, over the crossbar rather.
Good awareness there from Mangani Banda. Was looking to leave his line to attack the cross, but then the flight of the cross was looking to fool him. Good save in the end.
Corner taken, another one cleared out by Mangani. He's really keeping this Zanaco side in the game thus far. Out they come with Abraham Siankombo. Delays to get some support, looking for the run from Auteza Mbewe. Kampumbu should be able to clear this one. Kelvin. Yet more pressure coming through with Henry Besa. Up against Roger Kola Besa. Really, what was that? Just
very
giving away
casual,
position. Very casual and very cheap. Boyd Msonda looking for Kola. You'll be at fault should Zanaco score, I'll tell you what. Now, Siankombo lining to pull the trigger here. Besa. To the last few seconds of this additional time. Picked up by Mbewe. Wide to Kampumbu, takes a shot wide.
But good pressure from Zanaco, winning the ball high and recycling it into a chance on goal. So does show you Zanaco not relenting even as we come to the close of the first half, just keeping and maintaining the pressure and ending this half more on the ascendancy, you would say.
So 3 minutes coming to a close here. And looks like we might just end this first half in this fashion and probably wait and see what the second half has in the off in regards, especially for the Nkwazi side who are down here. So the final whistle for the first half has come through here, and it is Zanaco who leads with that goal in the 2nd minute that was scored by Boyd Msonda, his first for the season. So at halftime here at the Nkwazi Stadium, it is high.